When you receive your system, it was inside a wood box. How to open the wood box? You don't need to open the top or the edge. You just open from the most bottom. Bend the holder into the vertical direction with the edge, then knock it into flat. You can lift the wooden box very easy from bottom to upside. After you open the case, you will receive the following item: a toolbox, a mod box, a menu, and a system. After you assembling everything ready, you can start to use. Your system was exposed to you. There's a screw on the bottom of the edge. You can a little bit lift up the edge and remove the screw. Then you can lift your system onto your table or to your location. This is your toolbox. Toolbox is not used recently. It will be used after several years you are using to replace the rubber O-ring or other necessary parts. You can follow the menu on replacing rubber O-ring or call us for any problem. When you got parts to replace, we will guide you. It's time for you to apply your hydraulic pressure. When you receive the system, this one was on the most bottom. You can lift up the handle, then rotate it into the bottom or top. If you want this handle to be hiding, you just lift the handle, then it can be put in horizontal. When you use, you lift up to in vertical. If you are not moving frequently of the system, you can just load it like this. And the protection paper on the surface is not necessary to put on here. You can remove it. There is another screw. This screw, when during delivery, we are fully tied. When you start to apply, you must release this screw, because when we release the gas will release from this hole. Then you can tie the valve, open the handle, up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. Then this stage will lift up to form the press in between the holder and your working stage. When you want to release the pressure, you just release. Just now you can hear the sound. The gas was released from this valve. But during delivery, you must fully close this valve. This one we load it at close direction during delivery. When you use, you can handle it, follow your habit. When you receive your mod, the mod will include 4 parts. Number 1, number 2, and number 3 was assembled in one, and the one was put protection paper, loading another one on the top, and put another one like this. This one is packing in one. When you use, you can remove the paper, but in delivery we will put loading a paper. This is a sample holder during your remove your sample. So how to apply it is you load the bottom, then load the sample holder. Here's the gas to release during. Then put slide 1 on the bottom, your powder for pressing, flat it, or you can use this one to let it flat. Then put number 2 on the bottom, put this one on the top. Now your mod was installed properly. At that moment, you can load it onto the stage. Lift up this one to make enough space here. Then you load your sample holder on the center. This one must loading properly on the center. Then you rotate rotate the handle. Use two hands to let it locate at the most center. Then during your doing, you must holding by one hand and lock it by another hand at the center. Lock it properly. Then you can start to close this valve. Lift the handle to increase the pressure to press your pellet. After you finish your pellet producing, you can lift up this handle, take out your sample holder. At this moment, your sample was inside here, inside this one. So you can lift this one down and put this one on the top of the sample collector. Press your pellet into your sample holder. Then after that, your sample was inside this vessel. You can remove it. The most important is you must keep this two slides very properly. Make it dry and clean and smooth, because if this surface was damaged, your pellet will be difficult to be removed from the mold. Then after you finish the using, you wipe the system properly with cloth. Make sure it's dry and clean. The most important is the number one and number two. If you have your materials was have any corrosive, if you have knowing that your material had any corrosive or sticky, you must make sure it be totally cleaned. You can wipe it with cotton and wipe it with ethanol, acetone, or other necessary cleaner, but make sure it's not corrosive. Then after that, you can put your mold properly in desiccator or keep it dry. If you forgot how to use, you can refer to the manual, see open steps. After you finish, you can put them properly and keep the whole system dry and clean.